James Well, of Boxing Source, here with another video. And this video here is to have a reaction to the comments made by former WBC heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder was on the PBC Podcast last Wednesday, and he has some comments in reference to his loss to Tyson Fury that happened on February 22nd at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. And he is like going forward from that and preparing for the rematch with Tyson Fury that is scheduled for sometime in October. They had initially scheduled it for the month of July, but due to the issues with the coronavirus around the world, they decided to reschedule this particular bout. And Deontay Wilder on the PBC podcast had a few comments in reference to his third fight with Tyson Fury. He says that this is the last final straw as I see it. I'm taking everything in that happened and everything that happened towards me. He says that I'm cutting my grass. I'm getting rid of a lot of snakes in the grass. This time has allowed me to look back, dig in the weeds, and see what was really going on. Okay. He says that he'll bring in one or two new faces to his camp for the trilogy fight, where he says that you will see the real Deontay Wilder. Well, in reference to that, there have been, rumors circulating about him potentially bringing in somebody like the likes of a George Foreman or a well-known heavyweight to be part of his camp. But going into these particular comments, and then there was also one in reference to him possibly retiring if he loses to Tyson Fury in October. That I'll talk about a little bit later. But in reference to this particular comments here, he said that he's cutting the grass and he's getting rid of a lot of snakes in the grass. That's interesting to hear there in reference to what he said in the PBC podcast. Because, whether you're a fan of Deontay Wilder or not, there are people within his camp that aren't necessarily completely for him. Now, there may be a difference in opinion on who that is, but I know a couple of people that say that there are two that are close to Deontay Wilder that shouldn't be basically in his camp, that have been part of his camp basically since he started his professional career. That's a big hint there. So I don't have to name any names. If you're a fan of Deontay Wilder, if you follow Deontay Wilder for a long time, you should pretty much have an idea of who those two people are. Now, he did also say that, that people get envious of things that they can't have. And he said he had to weed out and change up certain things within his camp. So hopefully, for his case, that, taking those negative people out and bringing more positive people in, helping him improve as a fighter, could assist him preparing for Tyson Fury in that third fight. As I have said, that for the fight on February 22nd, Tyson Fury did everything he basically needed to do in order to prepare for and defeat Deontay Wilder, while on the flip side, Deontay Wilder didn't really do much at all in order to prepare for Tyson Fury on February 22nd. Now, there was like one other comment that. Was it a podcast in reference to Deontay Wilder hinting at retiring if he loses to Tyson Fury. I have said that if Deontay Wilder loses, that it may be his last fight of his professional career. And there are reasons why I say that. Number one, Deontay Wilder is a very prideful person. And for the majority of his career, especially when he was a WBC champion, he's, gone on to, exude his confidence, speak it, believe it, receive it, speak it, believe it, receive it. And that there was nobody that was stepping in the ring with him was going to go in there and defeat him. Okay? And you saw that leading into the second fight between him and Tyson Fury, that he's like, people don't believe you, Tyson Fury. Oh, you're not going to take me out in 2 rounds. They talking about, people needing 12 rounds. All that maybe is 2 seconds. So when you come into a fight with that much confidence, you've been undefeated. You've knocked out pretty much every fighter that you've faced, except for Tyson Fury. So he came in with a lot of confidence, but when you come in with that confidence and then you get stopped the way that Wilder did, I would say, on February 22nd, that takes away a lot of that confidence. And that everything that you had basically done wasn't enough basically in the first fight. And now in the second fight, you really couldn't do that much at all. And Tyson Fury pretty much studied you from page 1 to page whatever and passed the test with flying colors, I would say, in the second fight. So now Deontay Wilder has to regroup, restructure himself, and get himself prepared to see if he can defeat Tyson Fury. And initially, right after this second fight, it didn't look too well. He was talking about, your king is here. I'll be back. And all of that type of stuff, and doing other things, but not really focusing on what he did wrong in the second fight. So now he has to work on that and a few other things here at this particular stage of his career, with him being 34, turning 35 soon. And if he doesn't get through this particular fight, especially if he gets stopped once again, then the overall value of Deontay Wilder goes down significantly. It took him all this time for him to build up to this particular point to where he gets paid, 7 figures, 8 figures, and now after just about a couple of fights, getting paid 8 figures, if he loses to Tyson Fury by stoppage again, he won't be able to see those 8 figures if he does fight again. So that's what I got in reference to this particular topic. You could subscribe to the Boxing Source here on YouTube, or catch the Boxing Source radio show Sundays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Blog Talk Radio, or catch the podcast on iTunes, Anchor.fm, Spotify, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. On that note, folks, I'm out. Peace.